in the sunshine down in South Florida. Good morning, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
What's up, y'all? Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Mr. Politician, happy Thanksgiving to you, Courtney. Mr. Politician right there, my man, the notorious Woody. And look at this brother right here in the orange. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Happy Thanksgiving to America. You get Ryan Clark, RC in the house.
What up, brother? Good morning, my dog.
We came with the autumn colors today. This is exactly what you have to do if you're coming to our table here on First Take. So much to get into. 3 incredible NFL games. You guys ready to break it all down?
Let's get it.
All right. Since football and Thanksgiving go together, this quarterback matchup we are all waiting to see in what's projected to be the most viewed regular season game ever. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, fresh off a win against their division rival in Philadelphia, hosting Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We're going to look at this game from all angles, but first, you need to check out whose Twitter fingers were moving a mile a minute the last time Dallas played. RC, I know that you were having some fun with this one, obviously. I think did you send this one when they were up 21-0?
Yeah, that was early.
Yeah.
It was early in the day.
Orange suit.
It was early in the day.
Suit right there. He didn't want to be missed.
Then you got nervous and simply said, uh-oh, when Dallas was tying things up. And then finally, after the Cowboys pull off this historic victory, you posted, well, I guess the Cowboys shut me up today, sir. The floor is yours. Can you explain yourself?
Well, first off, I was feeling really good about my pick early on in the game. Yeah. Especially good because Stephen A., who never picks the Cowboys, all of a sudden wanted to be on the Cowboys side, and I wanted to rub it in his face. And I was early, right? Sometimes you can be early, and maybe it's better to be right.
Yeah.
And my fingers got the best of me. Stephen A., I am sorry for jumping the gun, but as the game went on, I started to retract my feelings and statements.
Slow down. When you say you're sorry, you apologize, I need you to say that slowly. Don't say that quickly.
Okay.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Dial it back.
Stephen A., Stephen A., I'm extremely sorry, and I apologize for using your name on the internet in the way that I used it before truly knowing if you were wrong or not. That is on me.
Unbelievable.
So you should have known something was up when Stephen A. is picking the Cowboys this early in the season. Like something got to be up when he's picking the Cowboys.
He likes for him to win early in the season because he wants to see. He always says, "I want to see him fall off a cliff, not a curb."
Okay.
That is correct. That is
the good thing about this is
correct.
we have video. We can record this. So, Stephen A., I need you to clip this thing off when RC says, I'm sorry, you were right.
Won't happen again.
Well, come on, Courtney. You know me. I mean, I got the clips. I mean, we ain't letting these go. You know what I'm saying? We going to lump them right in with the rest of the Cowboy videos. Don't worry about that. I got it covered. But in all seriousness, it was looking at the Eagles, too, and not liking what I saw from their offense. And thinking about the Dallas Cowboys and saying to myself, okay, as good as this defense has looked since you acquired Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson and Overshown has come back and what have you, I'm just looking at the Dallas Cowboys and I'm saying, okay, you're ascending. And the Eagles just going back and forth, the friction, the question marks. It's A.J. Brown. It's Jalen Hurts. It's Nick Sirianni. It's the performance of the offensive coordinator or lack thereof. You're looking at all of these things and you're saying, this is one of those games you're going into Dallas. When they played you in the opener, when you had all the odds stacked against them, it was still a 24-20 victory by the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. You're going to Big D right now with your offense not in tow. There is no question that Dallas could win this game. Now, I didn't expect them to be down 21-0. And I certainly didn't expect them when they were down 21-0. I couldn't believe they came back. So I'm not going to sit here in front and act like I saw that coming.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think it's more my picking Dallas wasn't just about how they were looking. It's more about how the Eagles have been looking and have been acting internally. And if you remember, RC, I said these words. I said they're going to lose this game, and it could end up being the best thing that happened to them. This is exactly what they need because you can't have this kind of stuff going on if you're going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. This is the kind of come up and stay needed to experience, and that's why I picked the Cowboys.
Okay, we'll get into the Eagles matchup because they've got a big one tomorrow, but I want to start with the big game that we have today. So obviously the Cowboys and the Chiefs. Dallas scores a lot of points at home, 33 points. That's the most in the NFL right now. But we have Patrick Mahomes coming off that 352 yard passing performance last week. Most passing yards he's coincidentally thrown in 2 years. I had to look that one up. I was a little surprised by that. So, D-Wood, I'm going to start with you. Offensively, who do you have more faith in tonight?
I got the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
You already referenced they're different. They're a different team. Dak Prescott and company are a different team when they play indoors at Jerry's World. It's a comfort of playing at home on that playing surface. They play fast. And listen, to me, it starts with how well George Pickens has been one of the best wide receivers that we have in the National Football League. He's truly been a dominant, almost like a Randy Moss-esque type guy on the outside, whether you want to throw him, those 50-50 go balls. His route tree has expanded with the Dallas Cowboys. He's really been doing everything that you want a number one wide receiver to play like. And then when you get to CeeDee Lamb, okay, yes, we've talked about ad nauseum about the drops with CeeDee Lamb over the past couple games. He's had 7 drops, and he's admittedly, said that he has to play better. But we've seen CeeDee Lamb. When CeeDee Lamb is at his best, CeeDee Lamb is as good as any wide receiver in the National Football League. I'm going to tell you a guy that we don't talk about as much in this Dallas Cowboys offense, Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams has been a revelation coming over. We know about the injuries that he's had, in his career, but with the Dallas Cowboys, he's provided some stability in the running game. He's made them multi-dimensional offensively, and you combine what Dak Prescott has been able to do. I trust the Dallas Cowboys offense.
The reason we're even having this conversation is because of Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes didn't play for the Kansas City Chiefs right now, it wouldn't even be a question of whether or not we would take the Dallas Cowboys offense over Kansas City. But even with Patrick Mahomes, when you watch this team play in the red zone against the Indianapolis Colts last week, you have confidence in that team over what we've seen from Dallas. When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs against the Denver Broncos in the game where Bo Nix does play well in the sense that a way he hadn't played this entire season. You can't move the ball and score enough points to beat them. And even late, Bo Nix outplays Patrick Mahomes, right? We see a guy like Vance Joseph outcoach Steve Spagnuolo. And let's talk specifically about the Dallas Cowboys. This is a team that's 4th in scoring in the entire league, 1st at home. This is a team that finds ways to create passing yards no matter where they play, with Dak Prescott leading the entire NFL in passing yards. And George Pickens, outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba, is the 2025 best wide receiver in the world. He wins every one-on-one. He's a guy that can run the entire route tree, as Damien Woody said. But more importantly, this is a dude who was acquired this offseason and has now become 1A for the Dallas Cowboys, knowing that you have a guy like CeeDee Lamb that's been an All-Pro.
Stephen A?
I disagree with y'all, but only because I'm not leaning on the word faith. You're absolutely right. You should have more faith in the Cowboys offense than you should in the Chiefs offense at this particular juncture. I'm not disagreeing with that on its premise, Ryan and Woody. What I'm saying to you is this. It's Thanksgiving. You just came back from a big victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. Everybody's looking at you now, and they're bloviating about what you're going to do. And that's exactly when they fall. And that's why I tell you to be patient. Just wait for it. This is what I'm talking about. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes coming into Dallas. Now, you can put your head down, RC, but unlike you, who are premature with your tweets,
Whoa!
I wait. You understand what I'm saying? I have waited for years. Each year, I sit back and I say, just be patient. And it's the moment when you expect them to do something that they let you down. And that is what I anticipate will happen today on Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Patrick Mahomes is coming into the house. Rice is going to be there. Worthy's going to be there. Kelsey's going to be there. Hunt's going to be there. Andy Reid's going to be there. And I'm saying, with the expectations now having returned to the Dallas Cowboys, with everybody looking at them and saying, you got to run the table. At the very worst, you can afford nothing more than one loss. You got to go 6-0 or 5-1 the rest of this season to have a chance at the playoffs. That level of expectation is something I anticipate on a Thanksgiving afternoon with Patrick Mahomes on the opposite side of the field could work against Dallas. That's how I'm looking at it. And last point, Woody, do you know, other than the Colts, nobody has more red zone possessions in the National Football League than the Kansas City Chiefs? They get down the field now. The problem is they don't close. Do I think they could close against Dallas's defense? Yes, I do. That's what I'm anticipating.
Now, Stephen, here's what I'm going to say in rebuttal to what you just said. And I'm gonna walk on faith a little bit when I talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Being that the Dallas Cowboys play on a Thursday, 4 days. We know this Dallas Cowboys team is a front-running team. They come out. We've seen it with them in the past where they have big wins and they don't know how to handle success. And then the very next week they fumble the bag. Mm-hmm. But see, the great thing about when you're on a short week, you can't focus on that big win, because you got another big game coming up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, let me say this. We all know Patrick Mahomes from the Dallas area. He's going to be looking to come in and light this thing up. You don't think Dak Prescott's not going to want to show up Patrick Mahomes in a game of this magnitude where both these teams need to keep winning? I
don't care what he wants.
And so, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, your whole thing was, well, the Dallas Cowboys traditionally have fumbled the bag after they have big wins, and I think, from a psychological point, this was the best thing to happen to the Dallas Cowboys, that they have a short week and they weren't able to focus on that big win against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right now, there's no team in the NFL that has better leadership than the Dallas Cowboys. And that's not with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. That's not with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. What Brian Schottenheimer has done leading this team, not just as a head football coach, but as a leader of men, is unquestioned. The way that he's galvanized this locker room around tragedy, what Solomon Thomas has been, what Dak Prescott has been. And I got to watch Dak walk to the stage to talk to Scott Van Pelt after that Las Vegas Raiders win. It wasn't just about that one game. It was about how they were able to bring their brother on the field with them and represent his memory and think of him in every single play they made. And when you saw them waving that 94 flag on the sideline against the Philadelphia Eagles, don't you ever forget how much that made them remember how lucky and blessed they were to be playing that game. There are certain things that brings a team together and brings people together that's beyond football. And on Thanksgiving, a day that you get to show your gratitude for what you have, I believe that's another thing that Brian Schottenheimer and the leadership of the Cowboys will rally this team around. And we're going to see an inspired effort that won't be focused on what you accomplished against the Philadelphia Eagles. This team is setting up to do something special.
The only part that I think is unfair about what you just did is that those are very profound words and right on point that you just articulated, and only a heathen could push back. I am not going to do that, Ryan Clark. So you've got me. I can't say anything about that, okay? What I will say on top of it, however, is this. Ryan Clark does have an opportunity, Woody, to resurrect himself. Because if I am wrong and he is right, I will go on X/Twitter. Okay. And I will concede that Ryan Clark made amends.
Let me write that down.
You don't need to. We've got a clip.
For his faux from this past weekend. You understand? So I'm actually going to be very nice. I'm actually, don't do that. But if the Dallas Cowboys make you out to be prophetic, I will go on Twitter and say, my man Ryan Clark made up for his faux pas this weekend. I mean, Dallas showed up today. He was right. You know I'm not prone to do that. But today, I'll make that exception.